there. Zach is asking, well, what would be good sporran for everyday farm working? Something that can be cleaned and to get dirt and grease out.
Did Zach ask us that ahead of time? That sounds like a question I had here.
Maybe.
He might have.
The good sporran for hard work, labor outside, changing oil, farm working kind of thing. Day sporran and make it cheap. If you're gonna wreck it, it's common sense kind of rules. If there's a chance you're going to hurt or wreck your sporran, then either one of two things: A, be independently wealthy and get a new one, or B, learn to love the battle scars on your sporran. I mean, this is my day sporran. I've had this for a few years now, and it's really been my go-to. And the tassels are crooked and they're sticking out, and there's marks on it and stuff. But I've grown to love it, and it's just my daily wear sporran. So if that's how you feel about it, and you don't mind, having a blemished sporran, so to speak, then have at it. That being said, you may also want to get another day sporran that you kind of reserve for going out. You have two pairs of jeans. You have your work jeans and your work boots, and you have your stepping out jeans and your stepping out, white sneakers, whatever.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah, cowboy boots. There you
Line
go.
dancing.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're not... there isn't going to be one thing for everything. You don't have some, magical fairy wand waving sporran that poof, it's all perfect again. So relegate one for good stuff and one to get mucked up, and then don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would say, and Zach, it may have been you who asked this, or somebody else recently was talking about a sporran and making an appropriate sporran choice for doing rugged work outside, mechanic work, farm work, anything where you're bending over, or you're gonna risk the sporran getting schmutz on it. Like Rocky just said, some sporrans will actually kind of lend themselves to that. Like some of our lower end sporrans, not to get product placement. I'm not trying to make a product placement, but my personal favorite of our lower end sporrans is the Celtic knot. It looks fine if it gets dinged up. It just looks a little bit more rugged. It has very minimal ornamentation.
Yeah.
It's very practical because it's got a magnetic clasp closure, so it's really handy for just getting in and out of. There's such a thing. There's room for having a practical sporran. The other thing to bear in mind is if you're working in an environment where something might happen to sporran, spin it off to the side. You can keep your sporran over on your hip or even towards your lower back on those occasions when it might be getting in your way, like working over a bench or working over a project or a car or something. Just spin it around. It's an advantage of a sporran that you don't have with pockets.
Yeah. Two other things I'll point out as well. You kind of got me going on one. One, I wouldn't get a brown sporran if you're worried about it getting dirty.
Yeah, black.
Yeah, it's gonna your dirt and grease stains and cuts are gonna show up on brown more than they will black. So I agree with Eric on the simpler Celtic knot pewter day sporran. And two, if you do want to spin it to the side, get a sporran strap like I have on here. It's instead of using sporran chain with the little attachment in the back, you can get a sporran strap that's just basically a 3/4 inch belt that goes around your waist, and the sporran hangs from that. It'll slide easier to the side on that than it would a sporran chain.
Yeah, I'd argue that could be considered more comfortable for a work environment also.
Yeah,
actually.
Potentially.
I've been known to actually, like a knife with a clip on the side, sometimes put on the strap part of my sporran chain or on a sporran strap. So you've got a little extra belt to hang stuff off of, like your keychain, carabiners, all that kind of thing. So, play around with it. Like I always say, experiment with it and hack it. But a Rob Roy, like a bag sporran, that style also looks fine if it gets dinged up. It just looks more rugged. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Cool.